What's happening? Social media. Ran into some difficulty on Friday to live stream what's happening social media. So it's Monday morning. I'm having my coffee break. So I thought I'd jump in and tell you what's happening in the world of social media, or what happened last week in the world of social media. So on today's show, whilst I drink my coffee, LinkedIn announces LinkedIn Audience Network. So we'll talk about that. So LinkedIn Audience Network, how can we leverage that? Is that a good thing? Instagram stories come to Facebook. What? Seriously? Instagram stories are coming to Facebook. We'll discuss that. Facebook continues to, I suppose, promote live video in real time. Instagram are testing out Canvas ads. Something cool with Data Studio, Google Data Studio. And as ever, we will have the app of the week, which may not be an app, but it could be a plugin, it could be a website, but it's something cool. So let's get started because I need to get back to work. So first things first, probably the biggest news last week was LinkedIn announced their audience network. So if you are a LinkedIn user and you ever contemplate or have in the past sponsored an update, so essentially promoted your content on LinkedIn, it's now giving us the option to promote that content or that update to a third-party audience, LinkedIn's audience network. So relevant business websites around Ireland and around the world that we can have our update showcased on. So no different from Google AdSense, but specifically targeted at LinkedIn. A couple of things with this that are interesting. Number one, I just thought I hadn't pressed the start button. That would have been a disaster. Number one, you can exclude certain types of pages. So say you don't want it to be an IT pages because it's not IT related. Essentially, you'll have an element of control of what portion of the LinkedIn audience network your sponsored update will be targeted in. So we have that option. Obviously, we can target by location and all the other targeting features within LinkedIn. Something that's quite interesting though, have you ever got an ad on Gmail before? I'm sure you have. I know I certainly have. They are also saying that they're going to promote these sponsored updates, because LinkedIn's owned by Microsoft, in Outlook. So essentially, if you're targeting people in Dublin or Ireland based on a certain industry, certain job titles and certain types of companies, they may start to see your sponsored updates coming in to their Outlook account. Wow. So targeting Outlook users as well as putting your ads on the audience network. So that's a really interesting thing. They've said that they've rolled that out globally, so it should be available in our campaign manager on LinkedIn already. So it may be worth checking out. What else happened last week in the social media world was something really odd, but maybe not so odd, that I was reading was apparently the Facebook are testing putting Instagram stories, yes, Instagram stories in Facebook. So essentially, if you've hooked your Facebook account with your Instagram account, your Instagram stories will showcase in their glory in Facebook. Interesting. It's amazing how we've seen this with Snapchat, but obviously we see just how much Facebook is investing in the story feature through Instagram and Facebook. It's not going away. And it amazes me how many companies just aren't embracing stories. We're not creating daily stories and trying to engage with our audience using the story platform, because clearly Facebook are betting big on this, and what Facebook bets on is typically what wins. So it's another reason why companies may want to spend some time creating Instagram stories, because it looks like in the near future, I know they're testing it, in the near future our Instagram stories may be consumed by our Facebook likes or followers or community as well. So that's an interesting thing. So testing Instagram stories within Facebook. What are your thoughts? Other things that we saw that we're testing out apparently on Facebook at the moment is, when you put a status update now up on Facebook, you can create a coloured background, so your text update stands out more than it would have done if it was just a regular text update. And in fact, if the Facebook camera even gives you the option to create a nice text update with a background colour. You know that. But apparently they are testing out coloured comments. So the ability when I leave a comment to pick my background colour so my comment stands out more than just a piece of text. There you go. Not earth-shattering, but quite interesting. Certainly could turn our Facebook newsfeed into a rainbow, that's for sure. So apparently they're testing that out to make our comments stand out more. Instagram, let's rock back to Instagram for a second. Instagram apparently have started to test what they call canvas-like ads in the stories feed. Yes, stories again being mentioned, but in the stories feed. So essentially, if you're familiar with Facebook canvas ads, they're these beautiful image-rich ads that we can scroll through and interact with. Essentially, it's like a beautiful interactive brochure type of an ad that we can physically create. So essentially, it's adding a whole new dimension to how advertisers can engage with their audience through Instagram stories. Through Instagram stories in a very creative way. So apparently they're starting to test canvas type ads in Instagram stories feed. Okay, so that's an interesting one. So certainly a nice way to be really creative and engage with the Instagram audience. Does anyone use Google Data Studio? So really what Google Data Studio is, essentially it's a studio. It's called Google Studio, where essentially you can create really nice graphs and I suppose data imagery to showcase your data. So essentially, if you use Google Analytics and use Google Analytics reports, it essentially can take Google Analytics data and create, I suppose, a much more visually pleasing report than you can create on, say, Google Analytics. So it's kind of cool, and it's a nice way to showcase your data. So that's Google Data Studio. But what they've announced this week is a bunch of what they call connectors. So a bunch of third-party applications that you can plug into Google Data Studio. And there's a company they're called Supermetrics that are out there that obviously Google are, well, they're allowing in, so to speak, where Supermetrics have, I suppose, plugins for your Facebook ads, your Facebook insights, your Instagram activity, and so on. Now it's paid. I think Supermetrics, it's about $99 or euro a month to use it. But essentially what it's saying is we could plug all our analytics, all our data around social and the web into one place and create these beautiful reports using Google Data Studio. So that's an interesting development that's come around this week. So that's, or last week, because it's Monday. I'm still drinking my coffee. My coffee break's nearly over. Better get back to work soon. So that's it for this week. So last week, LinkedIn's Audience Network was launched Instagram stories apparently may be coming to Facebook. Coloured comments on Facebook. Instagram start testing Facebook Canvas style ads. Google Data Studio connects with other parties to give you even more rounded data in a visually beautiful way. And we should really round off the episode by giving you some sort of app of the week, app of last week as it is this week. So what is the app of the week? Drum roll. Okay. Well, it's not an app. So there you go. I'm going to give you 2 plugins that you can use on your desktop, which might be interesting. The first one is a Google Chrome plugin. It's called Tiny Mails. Have you heard of Tiny Mails? Tiny Mails is a cool little plugin. What it does is when you're typing in your email, it will tell you what the word count of your email is. And possibly more interestingly, it will tell you how many minutes or seconds they would estimate the receiver will take to read your email. So if you're just trying to get to the point, you're trying to be quicker, snappier, faster with the emails that you're sending out, Tiny Mails will tell you the email that you've just sent Joe is going to take him 7.5 minutes to read. So it's just a nice little way of getting you thinking about what you're writing and how long it's going to take for the receiver to consume the content that you're sending. I kind of like it. It's Tiny Mails and it's a cool Google Chrome plugin. Something else. Have you ever jumped in the world of social media and spent too much time goofing around when you should be working? I know I have. And this is the most basic of basic tools, but I quite like it. If I have 25 minutes to put into social media today, I can use a website, or there's a plugin for it. It's called Tomato Timer. So tomato-timer.com. I can set a clock for 25 minutes, and what it does at the end of 25 minutes is it gives me a very annoying beeping sound telling me to get goddamn off the social media sites and get back to work. So essentially it's a horrible beeping sound, just like a horrible alarm in the morning, which I had this morning waking me up. Just to make us aware that our 25 minutes that we're going to invest in social media is up. Stop what you're doing and move on to something else. So that's all for this week / last week's What's Up social media show. I've enjoyed my coffee break and I will see you guys on Friday. Take care.